I've decided to kick 2026 off by defeating artificial intelligence. You see, late last year, I made a video in how some of the latest advancements in AI language models can help us to better 3D model and 3D print. And to say the very least, I was extremely disappointed in some of the results that I got. One thing I did find really interesting though is if you watch right to the end of the video, I made a dog treat 3D print, which I sort of used the AI as a template, and then I added my own touches to it, and it turned out to be a very functional print that my puppy at the time was very happy with. He's now a grown boy. So what I've decided to do is re-look at these old prints and take what AI gave me as starting templates and then build upon those using some of our own inputs and see if we can generate something that's far more functional than what ChatGPT spat out. Now let's get into print number one. Now the first print was a design that ChatGPT gave me for my office, which turned out to be some sort of a smartwatch holder with a charger that could go through this semicircle at the back here. As you can see, there's really nothing cool about this. Like, sure, I can put my smartwatch on here, but I'm sure I can just go onto some community page and download another model, and then it'd be probably much better. The third print was similar in that it made something for my mobile phone, but as you can see, it's a circular thing which isn't really phone friendly, and then a slot at the end to be able to put a charging cable through. Now, both of these designs were extremely dissatisfying and I have not used them since I made that video, but what I am going to do is take both of these ideas together and come up with some sort of a new electronic stand where I can mount things like my phone and my watch, as was intended by the previous designs, and maybe even other things such as my earbuds case and all the electronics that I need on a daily basis. So let's get into the design. Now, before anything, I want to get this watch into a much better location, but in fact, I might do this for a watch that I actually use, being my Rip Curl Search GPS watch I bring into the surf. I started by extending the original base and filling in all the old holes. From there, I'm going to draw these two rectangles to prepare a stand for the watch, then use the loft tool to generate that object. And then I'll use the press pull tool to make the stand portion a bit thinner. Next, we can sketch along the top part of the stand so we can start extruding our cantilever type support. I'm then going to use a fillet tool around the stand to start making things look a bit cleaner. Next, I'm going to draw a rectangle along the back of the stand such that I can make a cut for the charger to be able to sit in, with a slot for the cable that I'm going to cut in by drawing a circle and then extruding through, making a new cut. The obvious issue here is that once I go to plug the charger in, the watch will just fall back, so the next logical step is to try and hold this down by adding in some slots for the straps. In doing this, I'll draw two rectangles, extrude these down, followed by drawing another rectangle and then cutting through our slot. Now that the watch holder is done, it's time to get something in for our phone. In order to do this, I'm going to extend the base a little further so we can get a nice neat fit. One of the things that I like doing is putting in the item that I like to support in the model and then designing around it. So as you can see, I'm going to place my phone in the model and then use the sketch tool to get a nice shape going. I can then use this template and extrude forward, which now gives me a nice snug holder for my mobile. I'm going to return to the phone stand a little later, but for the time being, let's get a template in here for my JBL earbuds case and then raise it to an appropriate level. Now, by using the spline tool in the sketch, I can create an arc looking pattern by which I can then generate an object by selecting these two rectangle sketches and using the sweep tool. Now, we can do a bit more filleting to blend everything in a bit nicer as well, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, returning back to the phone stand, I'm going to add these wavy patterns over the face of the object just to add a bit of aesthetic in here. Next, I want to get the front lip of this stand tucked in a little bit better for securing my phone, so I might just have a play in the sketch tab to get something nice and snug here and extrude that out as I need. On the bottom of the stand, I do want to add these small inserts in so I can place some rubber feet, ensuring that it won't slide all over my bedside table and potentially scratch it. Lastly, I'm going to add some aesthetical touches, which is going to consist of using the fillet tool on either side of the phone stand to add some curvature, and then have a little bit more fun by adding a SVG of a surfer and add some texture below all of these useful artifacts. Now that this design has been properly completed, let's go get that printed. Alrighty, and just like that, we can place this on our bedside with our phone, earbuds, case, and our watch, and look how nice and snug that all looks. I can then plug my phone in for a nice ergonomic charging location. Then we can also plug our watch in, and then I can actually slide my Kindle into this as well, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, because this is a nice, neat fit for it. And we can see I can use this to read at night, go to sleep, and then wake up the next day nice and refreshed, ready to collect all my essentials for the next day. Now, print number 2 that ChatGPT helped us out with was a soap holder that I could use in the kitchen when washing some dishes. Now, it wasn't actually terrible given that all you would do is put the soap in this top slot here. You would have a drain hole at the end for all the water to go into the sink. And then another feature that I didn't really like, which was one of these handle slots here if you use one of those soap handles when you do dishes, which I don't use, so I'm probably going to get rid of in this design. Now, something I noticed when ChatGPT was designing this one is that it knew what it had to do, but it didn't actually know how to be creative, because if you look at it, yes, there's a slot for the soap, there's a hole for the drain, and that's everything you want when you're designing one of these things, but it doesn't actually know how to design something in a way where I look at it and I go, damn, I really want to buy that, I really want to print it, or it's something that I really need in my house. So one of the things I'm going to be trying to do here is see how I can integrate it very easily within my kitchen. So starting the original base, we're going to fill holes that we don't need and make this device much deeper. Along the bottom of the holder, I'm going to use a sketch tool to draw up these rectangles, which we can then use to make a pattern for these ribs. I'll then extrude this upwards and fill up the drain side corners. Next, we want to actually make the drain area a lot larger, so I'll go ahead and delete this hole so it extends across the whole face. After that, I'll need to actually have a slot on the top of the holder for the soap bar, which I'll do by drawing this rectangle and extruding it across to the end. Next, I'll sketch in these hexagonal faces and start punching in some holes so our sponge can effectively drain. Next, I'm just going to cut this back a bit so it's just the right size for our soap bar, and for an exciting addition, I want to add some handles for our cloths, which I'll do by sketching in these circles, extruding them out, and then lofting them to some larger circles, followed by filleting them to give us a nice snug hold. Lastly, I do actually want to add a mounting function to this, so what I'm going to do is sketch in these lines and then give it some offset. Once I've done that, I'm going to grab that shape we've just drawn and extrude it along the back side of the face. And now we have a nice little device that can slide into our drying rack. And of course, I'm actually going to go and print this off in a color that matches the rack so everything blends in nicely. So as we can see, our cutlery rack has something very similar to what we've printed out here, being that we can slide it on nicely and get everything looking neat. So we're going to put that right next to it, and then we're going to see how well our soap bar fits in here, because it wasn't too great in the last video. And also our cloths, which we're going to hang 2 of them on here, and look at just how neat and blended in that looks. Now with our wet sponge, we're going to go ahead and test the drainage function, and look at how smooth that is. Our ribs came in nice and clutch for us here. Everything is just so satisfying so far, but we haven't even tested how smoothly our cloths come off. And would you look at that? Just like that, we can keep all of our cloths dry. And let's test this drainage function one more time, because it was just so satisfying the first time, and oofed. Look at how nice that is. This is a successful print for sure. Now the 4th print that I did genuinely still makes me angry to this day, because it achieved absolutely nothing. And if you watch the old video, I'm absolutely crashing out when I'm reviewing what this print is, because supposedly like this was meant to be some sort of a dock where I could put like remote controls and cables through and everything, and there was slots. It provided no benefit. So I thought to myself, similar to the soap holder, it had good intentions in that it was trying to give us something that was useful, but it didn't know how to convert it into something which could be integrated into my living room. So with the last 2, I'm going to use this as a template and see what we can do to be able to store the remotes as it intended, but also some other things, because when I'm in my living room, I like to have some snacks, I like to have a drink, I like to put my phone down, and I'm trying to think of how I can integrate this in a way that it's all in one convenient location, but be creative at the same time. And I think I'm going to try and get this slotted onto my couch. So with that said, let's get back to designing. Okay, I'm actually super excited to try and bring this design back to life, so the first thing we need to know is what the actual length is for the couch slide. Next, I'm going to draw up these two rectangles and then we can extrude them both down so that we can get a nice fit for our couch. Next, I'm going to fillet out both of the inside corners to remove any not needed gaps. The next step is to draw an outer square so we can design an insert for all the fun bits we're going to put in here. Next, I'm going to draw this rectangle on the side so we can start cutting in our slots for a phone and TV remote. I'll bring this out a little bit further with the press pull tool and draw these two rectangles on top of the extension, followed by extruding them downwards to get our inserts. On the bottom of the extension, I'm going to fillet the corner and come back to it a bit later. After this, I'm going to draw this circle as a placeholder for a cut, but before going further, I need to make this a touch wider. After that, I'll draw in these rectangles, which will be a template for our other food slots. What I need to now do is extrude down whatever is outside these sketches, which will give us all the slots we need in one go. Now, I'm just going to work the fillet tool around the cup holder and then return to our phone slot, where I'm going to add in this small cutout at the bottom to fit a charger through. Now for a bit of fun, I'm going to draw this rectangle around the smaller one and recess that down, and using the previous sketch to extrude and generate a lid, which will go over our puppy treat slot. Of course, the lid won't be complete without a handle to lift it, so I'm going to add a sphere in and raise it to an appropriate level. Then I'll use a scale tool to flatten the sphere slightly, and then after that we can use a spline tool to get a handle pattern in. We're going to mirror that in for the other side and then revolve it around for a completed handle, and I might just play around with that a little bit more until I'm content with how everything looks, feels, and all of the above. Now for the fun we've been waiting for, look how nicely that slots in, as well as our glass, and we're going to pour some Coke Zero, which is my favourite drink when I'm watching the footy or some TV, as well as my favourite snack, which is some butter popcorn from our brand Cobb's, probably an Australian only thing, I actually don't know. And of course we can't forget the best thing, the TV remote, can't lose that. And then of course our phone, in case we want to do some doom scrolling, and the best thing of all in contention with the remote is our dog treat, so we can keep little Milo happy when we're watching TV on the couch together. Now you can watch me just enjoy the convenience of having a couch buddy thingy, I don't even know what I'm going to name this, put on my favorite shows with the remote, right there, chew on some popcorn, put the remote back, go for a doom scroll because, you know, we're living in the 21st century where we just can't stop doom scrolling, drink some Coke Zero, living my best life thanks to a 3D printer and some sort of a brain that's in between my two ears. Oh, can't forget to plug my phone in, but most importantly, Milo! Come here, place. Good boy. Wait. Good boy, stay. Leave it. No. Good boy, high five. Good boy, shake. Good boy. Well done. Now I must say I'm actually super happy with this. In fact, it's my favorite one, and I say that with joy considering in the ChatGPT version it was my least favorite. After doing those three designs, something I realized is that I didn't really need AI for the templates at all. I could have designed all of those things from scratch, but something I did find rather fascinating is if we take some of those instructions that Chat gave us, it did come up with some cool ideas which requires us to then go and put it into practice. So I'm not encouraging that we abandon AI altogether when we're designing, but rather investigate some of the intentions AI has when it is helping you out with a few of these projects. Now that's it for today with our prints, guys. If you were following along and you were designing as I was designing and you added some cool tweaks, let us know down below in the comments what you added, what you removed, what you modified, all of that fun stuff. And until we meet again, I'm gonna go and actually enjoy some useful and functional 3D prints for 2026.